Here with renowned trainer Robert Garcia, you will be preparing Abner MARES for his challenge against reigning WBA featherweight champion Jesus Cuellar on December 10th in Los Angeles, California. Now, 6 months ago, Abner was denied a license by the New York State Athletic Commission. However, fast forward 6 months from that incident and has been granted and cleared to fight. Now, some time ago, we talked about Roach, who is now in the corner of Cuellar, and you are much more intrigued by this fight and feel Cuellar will provide a competitive matchup between the two, and the fight itself will be much more anticipated among the fight fans. Walk us through the fight.
Look, it is interesting, and especially the way things happen. We were supposed to fight in June, and we were already in New York, actually, less than 2 weeks before the fight. We go to the commissioner doctor, and his vision is not, everybody knows that he's had a detached retina before, and his vision is not, he wears glasses, so he has that vision problem. But it's just that New York is really strict with their new laws and rules that they have.
Yeah.
A lot of promoters are pulling out of New York because it's just insane the kind of rules that they have. So that's exactly what happened. Abner came back to California and went through his exams, and everything was approved. I think Nevada also approves him. States like that, which there's no need to go back to New York. A lot of promoters are not going back to New York anyways because of all that new insurance policy that they have. So that doesn't hurt us. We're still gonna be fighting. I think it actually benefits us because it gives me more time to work with Abner. I've been working with Abner for about a year already. We started at the end of last year, and we were supposed to fight in March. He was supposed to fight Fernando Montiel. That fight got canceled. Then they moved it to June against Cuellar. Now that fight got canceled because of the medical issues in New York.
Yeah.
So now we go till December. So that's already almost a full year of training MARES, which is actually a good thing for me and for MARES. I'm not going in there with a new guy that I just met and I'm just training him for 4 weeks. We've been training together for a full year. Those fights that have been canceled or postponed, we've taken a week off or two, but then Abner comes back to the gym. So we've been together for the full year. So I think that benefits us. I get to know him better. He gets to know me better, and now there's a little more it's a little more interesting
bond.
now that we know better, and now that we know that Cuellar is training with Roach, it also brings a little more hunger, more need to perform and to do good, because I got to be honest, it is a challenge now. With Roach, we've had those rival fights before. And people remember mostly of course the Manny Pacquiao versus Margarito or Rios, but we've been against each other a couple other times, and so
do you know the record between you guys?
I think we're 2-2.
Yeah,
I think we're 2-2. The two wins that he's got against me is with Pacquiao.
Yeah.
But with separate fights, I think we're 2-2. Again, of course, smaller fights that people don't even remember, people don't even talk about, and I totally understand that. But this is a big fight. And we're going against each other again. It's a challenge. It's a sport that we love. I'm sure he loves it too, and he also has that motivation. Because he's going up against me. Yeah, so it's great.
No, that's what I like about your answer right now and what you said before, because you're a little more intrigued. You're a little more excited at the fact that the fight is now even has more meaning to it now that you have Roach in his corner, because you're going to see a better fighter in Cuellar. Now, a lot of people ask, what else does he have in his arsenal? He's known to have that equalizer. He's known to have that knockout punch. But you worked with him in the past. So what does he have in his arsenal?
Look, what Cuellar has is, of course, the power. That's something that everybody knows. I know it because I trained him, and he does have tremendous power. He's very powerful when it comes to landing that punch. He has great power, and the other thing is he always prepares himself very well. He's dedicated. He trains hard. He trains very hard because in his mind he wants to be the best. When he was here and we had Marcos Maidana, they're friends, same country, so they support each other. But they also have that little rivalry inside of them. I seen it in Cuellar. You know, like I want to be him or better than him, and that's you know, talking about Maidana. There's that little, I could say, a little bit of jealousy. You know
Really?
what I mean? Oh yeah, definitely. And every gym is like that. Every gym is like that. Look, and I tell all my fighters, on their own, you know, you see him better than you, you gotta want to be better than him. You know, because they have to have that, or else they'll never get any better. If I just have one fighter and I have nothing but amateurs, then there's nothing to tell them. You know, you got to do something better because you know he's the best and there's nobody else. But we, you know, the type of gym that we have here in Oxnard and in Riverside, you know, they have competition and there's always one better than you. So it motivates them to train harder, and that's what always went on with Cuellar. He wanted to, you know, he had that jealousy of Maidana, you know, making those big $1 million fights, big pay-per-view, main events and stuff like that. So he's always wanted that, and he's, you know, he's got this big fight now, and his mind is to win because he knows even bigger fights. And right now, I believe he's probably like the only champion in Argentina. So he's a big name, big star over there. So this is where he wanted to be. So all that, you know, motivates me to work even harder because I know the way he thinks. I know the way he is.
You think having that advantage, is that an advantage? Knowing that
it has to be an advantage. I also know his disadvantages. I know him very well. I know his disadvantages, and those are little things that I know from Cuellar that come the day of the fight, they might think, damn, you know, what does that have to do with the fight? But I know the way he is in his head, and little things that we have to do that might make a difference.
No, I'm pretty sure you're going to say no, and this is no disrespect to ABNER MARES or Cuellar, but you and Freddie Roach are probably the bigger names coming into this fight. What do you think about that? Because when it comes to Freddie Roach and Robert Garcia, you guys are two of the biggest names in boxing as far as like trainers, and your name itself carries more value over some of the other fighters inside that ring.
I could, you know, if we say Freddie Roach and Cuellar, 100% Roach is, you know, is the bigger man, and people might want to see the fight just because of Freddie Roach, because Freddie Roach has a lot of fans, and Freddie Roach
you got a lot of fans too, brother.
but you know, let's you know, comparing the type of fighter, you know, ABNER's an Olympian. He's a 3-division world champion already. He's a Mexican superstar, where Mexico is big in boxing. So I can't consider myself bigger than ABNER, but 100% Roach is bigger than Cuellar, and if people know about our rivalry, they might not know who Cuellar is, but they know we have rivalry, so they're gonna tune in, they're gonna watch, you know. And I know it's gonna be a big fight. It's here in Southern California. It's gonna be huge, and you know, I you know, we've had our differences in the past, and you know, because we're fighting against each other with fighters, but honestly, what can I say? You know, I got to admire the work that Freddie Roach has done in the past. You know, all the world champions that he's worked with. You know, he's very smart when it comes to coming up with a game plan. He's very smart at that, man. He is very smart.
That's something we were talking about.
I know that about me. I study. I don't just study my fighter's opponent, but I also try to work on study who the trainer is. I've seen the kind of work they've done, the changes they've done with all the fighters, and he's done a great job, man. You know, I can't be hating on him, you know, for being a great trainer. You know, even though I'm a lot younger than him, and maybe I'm newer at this, maybe I'm one of the younger trainers, but I think he also sees what I've done, you know, what Maidana did, you know, when people were actually counting him out, coming back to have those great fights like Broner and Mayweather, or even back in the days with Stevie Luevano, who very few
remember featherweight.
Very few thought he would ever be a world champion. Had like 5 title defenses. Or Brian Viloria, who he trained before he came to me. Brian Viloria was already pretty much a done fighter. Nobody believed in him. Came to me.
The flying punch.
Exactly. We went out to knock out Archie Solis, who at that time was the best flyweight in the world. Knocked him out in 11 rounds. So, you know, so he knows my work too. That's why it makes it a little more interesting. It's awesome, man. Yeah,
some of my friends in the fight media, we were talking about that. We were so intrigued that Robert Garcia versus Freddie Roach, we were talking about who's going to have the better game plan. And I think that's what sells the fight to some of the fight fans.